Hello, Exiles. This is Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and it's been a couple of days since I made a video, and that's mostly because I had no idea what I wanted to play. After failing on the Storm Rain character, I did end up playing it up to like level 80, but I really didn't enjoy it. I decided I wanted to do another character, so I tried a couple of things. I tried a Forbidden Rites Totem character. I wasn't enjoying playing that. And finally, I settled on a character I had a ton of fun in the past playing, and that is going to be my Lightning Strike DeadEye that uses Chain. So I have that here, and it is a reverse chill character. I had to mess around to get reverse chill to work quite a bit, and I wasted a decent amount of currency because here's the big thing. So the main thing that made it work previously, I tried like the replica Winterheart version that also uses like Malagaro's Restraint, that kind of thing. I used that and realized they had actually changed cold conduction. So cold conduction now, instead of what it used to do, which was make it so that your chills could shock and your shocks could chill, now you have 25% increased effect of cold elements against shocked enemies and vice versa. So it doesn't work like it had previously, which is very unfortunate. And the worst part about it is, I bought this replica Winterheart. It was 4 chaos, that's fine. But I anointed Tribal Fury on it. And that costs like 80 chaos and oils, which is a little annoying. And even more annoying than that is now I'll have to buy the oils to anoint Tribal Fury on an actual good amulet at some point. I'm just using this for now. It's whatever. It doesn't actually benefit me in any real meaningful way other than giving me a lot of lightning resistance and making me unaffected by shock. But obviously I can do better. And yeah, I'm in end game now. I'm going to be doing my first map. I have 2.7k life, which seems really low, and I can't spell. I did die 12 times. Most of that was early on. Leveling with this character kind of sucks because I don't like to build a lot of life. The reasoning for that is because I am going to be using Wind Ward and Wind Dancer, as well as at some point I'm going to get a 6-link Kintsugi. Right now I just have this regular 6-link I bought for like 20 chaos. It might not, yeah, I think it was 20 chaos because it has pretty good resists and some life. So I bought this, and then outside of that, I'm also using Flesh and Stone and Sand Stance to give nearby enemies blind. I also blind on crit strikes from one of the nodes from the tree. I think it's one of these ones over here. Yeah, you have a 10% chance to, so Claws of the Hawk. But the more important thing is, enemies that are not nearby will deal less damage to me while I'm in Sand Stance, 11% less. So when I have full Wind Dance or Wind Ward stacks now, I believe I can have up to 10 of these. Yep, 10. So I'm getting 30% less taken from that, as well as 20% less damage taken from this, so that's 50, and then 61 from things that are away. When I get the Kintsugi, it will be a total of 70% from everything, and then 81% or higher when I get higher Flesh and Stone from enemies that are farther away. That's going to be really big. So I do not need much of a life pool. And I'll kind of... so what I did to make reverse chill work on this character is I'm using Mauve Conquest, which makes it so I'm unaffected by poison. I'm using Ice Fang Orbit, which makes it so that I'm chilled when I'm poisoned, and it also makes it gives me a shatter, which is nice for porcupines. I already shatter because I do cold damage, and crit. And non-chilled enemies you poison are chilled. So basically constant chill. I am scaling some chill effect. I'm getting Fingers of Frost and Elemental Focus, which I can actually get on this version of the build. And I am lastly using the Golden Rule, which poisons you inflict is reflected on you if you have fewer than 100 poisons on you. So we reflect poisons on ourselves. Normally on self-chill you wouldn't want to run this because it gives you a chance to avoid elemental ailments. However, because this just gives you a constant persistent chill when you're poisoned, and you're not avoiding the poisons, it is going to make it so you're always going to be chilled as long as you're hitting things. And of course, the last thing that works, that makes the build work, is Winterweave. So the effect of chill on you is reversed. So we get more action speed from both the Gathering Winds, the Gale Force, as well as or Tailwind rather, as well as the chill. And it makes us very, very fast. So I haven't reached anywhere near the final form, but I'll just do a quick, let's do a beach really quick. There are a decent amount of mods I can't run on this, so I might have to reroll, but those are all just fine. So, yeah, or as I'm running Precision and Herald Device. I actually don't need to run Herald Device for the Shatter, and because I have a very high amount of cold damage anyway. I'm running Lightning Strike. I'm going to get a 2020 Vol Lightning Strike at some point. Trinity, Multi-Strike, Chain, Nightblade, which has got a huge buff. Nightblade's amazing and is the main reason I decided to run this build again. And then elemental damage with attacks. So Nightblade gives 130 crit multi at this level now, which is pretty crazy, plus 1 base crit. Claws already have some pretty high base crit as well, so it's going to make it, and I'm getting some base crit from Assassin's Mark on hit from the Oscarm gloves on top of that. So okay, cool, we got a Legion right away. So it's gonna take a while. I have a little bit of a graphical error stuff that goes on when I'm doing this, but okay. So I'm not killing things too fast. I am using a very, very bad weapon, which I'll show after this, but I wanted to see what, it's literally something I self-crafted using a low tier essence. So but yeah, after this map I'll show you that you don't need a very good weapon to get like a decent result with this build. Now granted, you're going to get a much better. I'll just go back and loot the stuff once I'm done showing you guys the map. But yeah, the clear is okay. We cleared that Legion out decently well. Most groups like this aren't going to be too bad. Single target's pretty solid. I am using Hydrosphere specifically. Yeah, let's go do this. I should probably have checked for Elemental Reflect. Definitely can't run Ellie Reflect. Let's see. Not going to attack anything. Okay, I don't see Ellie Reflect on there. Yeah, I'll show you what the single target setup is like. So you kind of double benefit from Hydrosphere, but the position of Hydrosphere makes a difference. If you put it directly in front of where you are from the boss, you kind of make it so both of your strikes end up hitting the boss, and then you also make it so that you're chaining off of the Hydrosphere as well. So that's really nice. And if you're in a smaller area, the chains will occasionally bounce off the wall because of Ricochet. Ricochet is insanely good, and later on I'm going to try to get the helm enchant. I'm actually probably, since I have to use a specific helmet, it might be hard to find the Lightning Strike has 3 additional projectiles helmet enchant, specifically on a Maw of Conquest at the moment. So I'm probably actually going to have to farm Uber Lab myself, which is something I normally don't do because I don't like running lab that much, but I think I will have a hard time finding that. I'll do this in a second. Just going to do the boss real quick. So yeah, you ideally want to put the orb right in front of the boss or right in between you, and there's a sweet spot. You can really feel the damage difference, like when they are and are not standing in it, and you kind of get used to it eventually. I remember on my I do not have freeze immunity currently. I forgot to add some freeze immunity because I had been running Wanderlust to level, and I literally just switched to this pair of fugitive boots, which give chaos resist, some life, and I crafted on some movement speed, a lot of intelligence as well. Not a bad pair of boots. Alright, this build's also really fast with Whirling Blade. I'm using dash as well so I can get over obstacles, but For the most part, it's just whirling blades. Alright. So gotta watch out for those freeze boxes. In fact, I need to work on the cold. So one of the things I learned from these, and I learned this from Grimrow, I really enjoy Grimrow's content, is that the logbooks only drop from these bigger skulls. I didn't know that. I thought they could drop from chests. So you actually ideally want to get all of them. So the first thing you want to do is look for the logbooks. Then I'm going to look for quantity of items dropped by monsters if they don't have that. And then the goal is going to be to get as many of these big skulls as possible. And then everything else is just kind of tertiary. You can get, whatever after that, like one of these orange chests. Even more important than getting a big chain of synergistic stuff, especially on maps where you're not going to get that great of rewards anyway. Sometimes you'll get like good stuff from like the stack of currency reward. See, the quantity on the runic monsters as well can make them drop multiples of the reroll currencies. I have like so many. I have an insane amount of the Astragalis, the gambling rerollers. I'm gonna have to go through and reroll all of them, because I think I have like 120 at least of those, 150, something like that. But yeah, so that is pretty much the character. It's very fast. It's pretty strong. I do die if I get frozen, obviously. I have to figure out a way around that. I'll probably just set up a utility flask at some point to circumvent that. But yeah, that's pretty much how it's going. This character seems like it's going to be a lot of fun, even though they've changed things. Once I get a better amulet with the Tribal Fury Anoint, that's going to add a lot of power. And then, oh yeah, here's my weapon. So this is my weapon. It's got... so I have the Polar Tier 3 cold damage, which I got from an essence. It wasn't even a Screaming Essence, it was the tier below that. Then I happened to roll the Tier 6 fire damage. I have a Tier 5 attack speed, Tier 6 crit multi, and then I crafted on elemental penetration with weapons. So this is a very mediocre. I got it in like 2 essences. It's pretty bad. I just took anything with fast attack speed and some elemental damage, really. But yeah, you can get substantially better, and I'm going to. So this build should scale pretty good. I want a weapon that has close to 2 attacks per second. That'll substantially increase our attacks. And then I want some crit chance and much higher cold damage. The fire damage is fine. We still use fire damage. It's still like we have a lot of generic elemental scaling. But honestly, I want to focus mostly on cold and lightning damage. And a little less so on fire damage. So yeah, that's the build. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think, or if you've tried a reverse chill character in the comment section below. This has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and I will see you next time. Bye.